Hello. You hear us? You hear us okay?
Hear us at the back.
Okay, good.
Come on in, there's still lots of seats at the front. We like having people close.
How many people in the chairs brought a laptop? Okay, good. This is a hands-on activity, by the way, so it's good if you have a laptop. If not, you can just partner up with somebody. So, shall we get started?
Sure, there's still a few people coming in, so just continue coming in and we'll make a start.
Okay, so thank you for coming to Makeover Monday. How many of you have been to a Makeover Monday session before, live? Quite a few? Okay, good. So it looks like everybody that's in the seats is new. Okay. So if you weren't new, you would know to be sitting at the tables.
Yeah. Who's actually done Makeover Monday? Live or online? Yeah?
Okay, a lot of newbies. Good.
Lots of newbies.
Excellent. Great. So, good.
Yeah, so that is our mission. We wanted to start with that. We want to improve the way we visualize and analyze data one chart at a time. And that's why we have Makeover Monday, a weekly exercise.
So she is Eva Mary. She's the head of BI at Exasol and a Tableau Zenmaster. She's based in Nuremberg, Germany.
Yep. Sorry, getting ahead of myself. That's Andy. He probably needs no introduction, but Andy Kriebel, he's been a Zenmaster ever since it started. And he is the head coach at the data school based in London, teaching and training new data analysts, everything about Tableau and Alteryx. And we thought we'll give you some numbers to get an idea of what Makeover Monday is about, how big it is. And we've just picked numbers from 2019 because now we're actually tracking what people are doing. It's a bit of self-reporting, so these numbers are not necessarily 100% accurate. But we have, because it's week 25 data sets out there for this year.
Well, 24.
Well, 24.
On here.
Well, but I've published it, so it's up there. We have almost 4,000 visits that were created just this year, and over 1,000 participants. So that is individual people, not multiple times participants, but this is individuals who participated.
So how does Makeover Monday work? So we'll go kind of clockwise, starting on the upper left. So on Sunday, typically on Sundays is when we publish the data. There's a page on the Makeover Monday website that has a link to the original article, a link to the data set. All the data is hosted on data.world, and that's when people typically start visualizing the data. Well, I shouldn't say most people. Some people start on Sunday because that's when they have free time, because their companies don't allow them to actually practice. Imagine that. And then Monday is when kind of the bulk of the work is done, Monday and Tuesday, so people are just kind of building things, tweeting them out, etc. Wednesday, Eva hosts you want to talk about?
Yeah, so we have Viz Review. It's a live webinar, 75 minutes, every Wednesday at 4 p.m. UK time to cover most of Europe and the US. And Andy kind of left me alone with it a bit.
I quit.
So, yeah, Andy quit. But just Viz Review, he still does Makeover Monday. So I recruited Sarah Bartlett. Sarah, are you in the room? Yes, Sarah's over there waving. And between her and Jeff Schaefer, we always run Makeover Monday Viz Review as a duo, because talking by myself for 75 minutes full on is very exhausting, but also it's good to get two different perspectives. So what we do in the webinar is we go through the people who have used the hashtag MMVizReview correctly, and we look at their vizzes that they've submitted for that week, and we give them feedback on design and story flow, the analysis, the formatting, etc. And that is, for us, the most efficient way to give feedback, because it means we have so much more time to talk than what we could fit into 280-character tweets. It also is there's less room for misunderstandings, because we use our voice, we talk, we make jokes, we point to things on the screen, much easier than trying to do this on Twitter. So that's the webinar, and I highly recommend, even if you don't submit a viz, to actually join the webinar. We typically have between 60 to 90 people joining each week, but we only go through about 30 vizzes. So there's quite a few people just watching and learning through that.
Okay, and then I guess the next big milestone there is Friday. So on the odd number weeks, I pick the favorites. On even number weeks, Eva does. Usually it's between 5 and 9, something like that. Just ones that have kind of caught our attention, that kind of represent all the things that we talk about well. And we tweet that out and tag people, and they seem to get excited about it. And then we start all over again on Saturday. You want to go?
Yeah, sure. So there's good reasons for actually doing Makeover Monday. The first one, very obvious, you get a lot of practice. Every week is a different data set. You don't know what's coming. The topics are quite random. We try and keep it interesting. We noticed recently people are much more engaged when we give them something a bit more difficult or more meaningful. So we look at environmental stuff, health, crime, politics, economics, etc., sports as well. And that is a chance to practice with an unknown data set. And using Tableau, I would assume, given that you're here, you get a chance to look at different vizzes, different techniques, tips, and tricks that you've picked up from the community and turning that into something. And over time, you can't help but learn, especially if you participate every week.
Okay, also it's a great way to build up your portfolio. One of the things I would encourage you to do is when you publish things up to Tableau Public, don't make them hidden. Some of you, I know when we go to look at them on VisReview or click on the links or something, sometimes the visualizations are hidden. So don't ever delete anything from your Tableau Public profile because it kind of shows the progression of your work over time. We're also seeing lots of people actually getting jobs based on their Makeover Monday profile. They're not even needing to interview for these jobs. They're just being brought in, hey, show us your portfolio, and that's enough to get them the job, which is really, really cool. Right, and another thing that I do is I take a picture of every single visualization that I create. I put it up on Google Photos, and I create a portfolio. So I can send that link to anybody, so I highly recommend you do that as well.
And quick question for a little bit of audience interaction. Who has a Tableau Public profile in this room? Okay, that's maybe about a third.
A third do not, I would say. 2/3 do.
Can we say that again? Who has a Tableau Public profile? That's just a third.
45%.
Okay, 45%, good. So everyone else, we want to encourage you to get one. It's obviously not compulsory, but it's a great place where you can publish stuff. Just be aware that whatever you publish there is public. So don't publish your internal financials from your company. Literally just use public data sets for that. Yeah, and then Makeover Monday is a good opportunity to learn and get inspired because you see what everyone else is doing and you can adapt it. You can say, well, I really like this technique. I'm going to download it, take it apart, see how it works, apply that for myself, and just learning from other people. We have great people in the community who have amazing design skills where just looking at it, you're like, oh my God, how do I do this? And then maybe someone just tries to emulate that style in their own way. And yeah, you learn a lot.
All right, so it's also a great way to connect with other people like you're doing here. I would encourage you to not sit with people that you know. So that table right there where you all know everybody, split up, please. I just think it's a great way to kind of use these events as networking opportunities. Ask for help, ask for support if you need it, but also when you're publishing things or you're tweeting out your visualizations, feel free to ask for help or ask for feedback on Twitter. There's a big community of people out there willing to help.
And I think what's important about that asking for help point is there's only two of us, or Sarah and me. We can't possibly address every question that comes up on Twitter. So feel free to welcome feedback from other people. It's not that we're the only ones who know something, and it means that you get responses. For us, Makeover Monday is on top of our jobs, so we try to get to everything, but we just physically can't because there's typically about 100 to 150 participants every week. Okay. Yeah, and you can have an impact. So we do collaborations with Makeover Monday and nonprofits, and this is a great chance to help those who actually need some help. They often have maybe 1 or 2 people in their analytics teams who are proficient at using Tableau or another tool and building data visualizations. So when we unleash our community of, let's say, 100 to 200 willing participants on their data, they get so many ideas, they get a lot of new ways of telling their story, and they might actually get some future volunteers to work with them, and it's a way for them to improve how they share their message.
All right, so what do we provide to you? Well, you're more than welcome to buy the book, so that's always encouraged. Buy 3 if you want, it's okay. So we wrote this book based on 3 years of, 3 years? What year is it in now? 2 years of content and lessons. We used to write a lessons learned blog post every week along with the favorites. And we kind of took all those lessons, the common themes, and we packed them into a book. The book isn't about the basics of data visualization. It's about things, how to be a better analyst, how to use context in your visualizations. And there's 300 images in the book, and they're all from the Makeover Monday community. So it's a great way to learn. You can use it, either read it cover to cover, or you can look at the sections for reference as you're doing your data visualization work in your job. Anything else you want to say?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, and then
We
Viz
talked
Review
about
I've
that.
already mentioned, so weekly webinar that we provide.
And favorites we talked about? Yeah, okay. So obviously we've gone through these slides ahead of time. So
They were
how do you
created
participate?
in
So
Texas.
there's a few simple steps. So on the Makeover Monday website, we post the link to the article where the visualization came from, also a link to the visualization itself. We post a link to the data. So what you need to do is you need to download the data, analyze it, visualize it, I generally try to stick to about an hour. You're not trying to create Picasso here. So it's all about practicing, trying to build something. The reason we say an hour is because you want to try to build something quickly and not overthink it, right? So just take a look at the data, read the article, and try to get some context, focus on a story, and then build the visualization.
We also don't want people to feel like they have to spend a day every week on this. It's not an IronVis submission. There's 52 weeks in the year, so pace yourself and keep it simple rather than making it a strenuous chore.
And then publish your viz up to Tableau Public or Power BI or whatever tool you use. Sorry, I probably shouldn't say that here.
No,
yeah,
no,
it's okay.
Tableau Public. Just erase it from your memory.
I do it as well sometimes, so don't worry about it. And then if you tweet it out, include the hashtag Makeover Monday, and I know that I use that, and Eva uses that to kind of look for the favorites for the week. When you do publish it, make sure you post a picture as well, not just a link to to wherever you published it, because you don't get a preview of what it looks like. Most people actually won't click through the links anyway. So post an image so people can it's a lot easier for people to give you feedback that way as well. And if you want to participate in the Viz review, just use the hashtag MMVizReview. And if you do participate in the Viz review, or if your visualization gets reviewed, there's kind of an expectation that you'll sort of iterate on the feedback. It's not required, but it certainly makes us feel better that the time we're giving you to review your work is worthwhile.
Or publicly disagree with us, that's fine as well. We just want to get
Not allowed to disagree.
Oh, no, you're allowed. But we just want to understand that, okay, our feedback has been heard. Is it been useful? Is it understandable? Is it clear?
And then there's also a submission page if you want to be on the tracker that we talked about. There's a submission page that will include a link as well. You just put your details in there, your name, your Twitter handle if you want to include it, a link to your visualization, and a link to the image, and that's how we keep track of everything. But it is an opt-in, so don't feel like you have to do that.
Yeah.
All right.
And if you want, you can take a picture of the slide because it has all those links. They're quite easy to find, but yeah, if you want to take a picture.
You could also tweet out the link to the presentation as well.
Yeah.
Should we wave as well? Look at all the pictures. Feels like paparazzi.
And anyone coming in, there's more seats at the front, so please feel free to grab a seat up here. We're not going to pick on you.
If you're late, you have to sit in the front. That's one of the rules.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
It's just as comfortable as the seat behind you. Yeah. Okay, so important places you need to know to get the data. You'll go to makeovermonday.co.uk/data. To be included in the tracker, you go to submit. Webinars are on webinars, really complicated names we give these things. And then on Twitter, remember to use the hashtag MakeoverMonday, and then those are our Twitter handles and our websites. Okay, so now what? So we're going to give you 60 minutes to visualize the data set that we're going to provide here in a minute. And incomplete is okay. Most people won't finish. That's all right, don't worry about it. If you want to work in pairs, that's perfectly acceptable as well. Again, the group in that one table back there is going to split up. They're all Makeover Monday veterans, so they need to, I think you guys should split up and find somebody that doesn't have a computer and work with them. Does that sound good to you guys? Yeah? Okay, just say yes, it's okay. Publish it up if you want. We're also going to ask people to present at the end. So if you are excited about what you built, it doesn't have to be great. If it is great, that's okay too.
And we have little giveaways for those who are presenting, so there's a little incentive. And we've never had no one present. We will encourage them strongly to present. I think it's always good to show what you've done, and you will feel really great about it afterwards. So don't be shy.
And we'll be walking around as well, so if you need help or if you're stuck or something, just raise your hand. And I think there's some other Tableau staff in here as well that'll be walking around. So this is the data set that we're going to look at this week. I found it yesterday. Yep. So it is everything about Airbnb in Berlin. So it comes from a website called Inside Airbnb. And the data set that I've created for you includes every listing and then every review for every listing. So it's a pretty big data set, but what I would encourage you to do is focus on a particular story or don't try to visualize all the data because you're going to get stuck and you're not going to get very far. So try to think about, what am I interested in Airbnb, and create a visualization around that. Like, what questions would I want to ask of the data? So you can get, if you go to makeovermonday.co.uk/data, you'll see, if you go down to week 25, you'll see a link to data.world, and you can get the data there.
And Andy suggests that you use the Excel file because it's the smallest out of the 3 different options. So you can download the Excel file.
So there's a CSV, there's an Excel file, there's a hyper file, and there's also a spatial file if you want to join to a spatial file. I'd be careful with that because some of the names don't match. I didn't bother cleaning them up on purpose. So yeah, any questions before we start the timer? All right, again, if you don't have a computer, find somebody who does, pair up and work on it together. All right.
And we're going to play some music while you're going, and just encourage you, work together. And if you find no one with a computer and you still want to stick around, just talk to the neighbor and get to know them.
All right.
Okay, have fun. Don't be alarmed. I'm sure it's all planned, right? So we'll finish up now.
I'm alarmed.
You're alarmed?
Yeah.
You're not even on.
Good.
Oh, no, you are on.
There we go.
Okay, so hands away from the keyboard, as they say. You're all done now, wherever you're at. And I want to ask, who did not create a map? Hands up, who did not create a map? Okay, and who out of that group is going to present? Not all at once. Yeah, let's start with Sarah then.
Okay.
Our first volunteer.
Did you have it on Tableau Public?
Okay. Well, while Sarah publishes the Tableau Public, first please give yourselves a big round of applause. Well done, everyone.
Does anybody have it on Tableau Public and wants to come up and present?
Map or not? Yeah, there's a gentleman in the blue t-shirt and in the grey t-shirt.
Was there another one there as well?
Yeah, there's 2.
Did you want to come up as well?
Yeah.
It's like you're coming up to accept an Emmy or something. You got to present, yeah. You raised your hand, so you don't have a choice now.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And you're certifiably Tableau, so that makes you certifiably ready for the stage.
We'll just let you search for yourself on there.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Okay, so Dan is going to also shortly introduce himself.
Hopefully the building doesn't collapse before he's done.
Never find.
Anybody else thinking the same thing? Unless they really wanted to get into the session.
So Dan, if you can just say who you are and
Hi.
Get started.
Okay, my name is Dan Chizik. I'm a BI consultant at Naya Technologies in Israel, certified desktop professional. And I've been working with Tableau for, I think it's 4 years. I've done a couple of Makeover Mondays as well. I decided to focus on a keyword search. Just took an idea and ran with it. Is there a way to actually connect the mouse to... I don't like the touchpad.
Picky.
Yeah, I'm picky.
Probably can.
It'll make it a bit easier for me.
Those yours? Let's see if that works. There we go. Yep.
Okay. Well, I put my glasses.
Oh. I would put it in full screen.
Okay, so basically,
Full screen button.
yeah. Okay, so I did the map, of course. Filtered by neighborhood. I used the new maps, 2019.2, because they're nice. Put a neighborhood group, neighborhood. This is the one where we are. The dots are less important. It's just the marking of all the listings. With the size is the number of views, and I didn't have time for all the legends and stuff. And the color is the darker it is, the better the average review. But what I did was a keyword search. So if you want to search for something, let's say I did piano. I've already checked this, of course. Okay, so you search for piano, and it shows you the listings which have a piano either in the name of the listing or in the comments. And if it's in the comments, you actually have a highlight of the actual comment which has piano in the text. That's the idea I used. Obviously, if you choose a listing, you can actually it actually filters it. If we unfilter, then of course we have the regular filter from the map. You can choose any ones you want. Filters them on the right. You can see the comment. You can see these are the actual reviews on a time basis. You can see what's active and what's not. And that's about it. Not much more than that.
Well done. Really
Nice.
good. Yep. I think are these the?
Thank you.
Is these the prize?
Yeah, yeah. So Dan gets a little thank you. Make sure there's a good
Do you want a water bottle or do you want a T-shirt? There's water bottles as well.
So, you. Sorry, I can't see your name, but please come on up. I think the gentleman in the grey t-shirt was first, and then maybe just come and line up on the side. Then we don't have so much waiting time because it's quite a hike to get to the front.
You want a water bottle?
And you'll be up after these guys. Okay, is this a whole team? Excellent. So we have a team of 3. Round of applause for you. Well, there's some.
Oh, wow, 3. 3 for
All right,
special.
Michael and team. You're up next, so if you just escape out of that and find yourselves. And if there's salespeople in the room, maybe this gives you some idea of how you can demo Tableau to the people you want to sell it to. Okay.
Yeah, so hi, my name is Mike, Michał, whatever. These are my colleagues from my previous job. And we did a team effort. So of course we went with a map to make NDMed. We used a parameter. Okay, so maybe I'll start from beginning and make it full screen. So we wanted to know where are the hotbeds of Airbnb listings in Berlin, because we don't know Berlin at all. So we didn't put here our hotel, our conference center, but we used the page functionality, which doesn't work on server, of course. So not a good choice.
There's a mouse right there as well.
Oh, okay. So guys will guide you through it, and I will just click through it to make it animated. So team effort, right?
Yeah, okay, so go ahead, Michael. And we can see the change in years. How does it look in Berlin? And we can see how the hotspots have changed. Just go.
So it must look great animated on desktop, yeah.
Yeah, it just plays.
Yeah.
And it's animated.
And we can see in the bar chart the main groups of pricing.
So one thing, I mean, it changes over the years. One thing is the location, because this is just the density of listings. But other thing we wanted to compare it to, not with a scatter plot, but on a map, is the highest prices. So actually you see also the bins. If you click on a bin, you will get filtered if you want to see, for example, if your budget is 30 euros, which is the most common. If you click it, you will see probably on which neighborhood you should look at, because it will filter. Yeah, so mostly the south. I think we are somewhere here as well. And if you just want to look at the whole city in 2016, like we are set up right now with the page. We have a highlight made here, so you know that the hotspot is die Mitte, and this. Sorry, I speak some German, so I sometimes mix up. And the second one, the second hotspot, as well as for prices and location, is the Friedrichstein-Kreuzberg. Yeah, so this is pretty basic. There's some interactivity. We wanted to play with maps, use the, not that new anymore, but I think we haven't used on production, so the density mark. Yeah, and that's it, team effort. We wanted to create some kind of story, so the guys were really helpful. Yeah, thank you.
T-shirt or water bottle?
Does anybody else want animations on Tableau Public? Hands up, yeah. This would have been a perfect use case for it, because you see how you had to click through. If you could just see it, just animate over time, it'd be so much better.
Extra large.
Okay, anybody, any other volunteers? Oh, here we go, yep, sorry, didn't see you.
Thank you.
Hi, thanks for coming.
Thank you.
All right. Hi. Yes, nice to meet you. All right, up you go.
Hello, everyone. Let me try to find my visualization. So the funny thing, my name is Yegor. I'm from Moscow in Russia. So I've been working with Tableau for the last 9 or 8 years. The funny thing is that if you log into the Tableau Public, you can see the web edit mode, and it says in beta. Yeah. So just this a small thing. Yeah. So if you log into your Tableau Public, you will see the web edit like you have on Tableau Server when you're editing your dashboard. So I think it's available on Tableau Public right now. So the main idea of this visualization was like, we have the same data set, but how we can present it from the different perspectives. We designed it. Unfortunately, I don't understand how to show the tabs on my visualization, and that's not really good because I have a separate view for the two separate views, one for the tourists, another one for the owners. Then the main idea for the tourists is like, okay, I have some money, I want to choose the neighborhood where the prices or the competition between the owners of the flats would be different, because again, if you have a lot of hosts and places in the one district, and the people trying to change their services, they're trying to get the new clients by giving different services. So, okay, where is, it's not scrolling, all right, so just a full screen. On the left-hand side, we have a group of neighborhoods in Berlin, and then we have a separate districts that shows the average prices, and of course, this is the previous team did a hotspots during the time. And also on the bottom you have a jitter plot, right? And this is the correct name of this visualization that shows the median, and then so you can combine and see the different type of the rooms. And of course the shared room would be the cheapest one, and the whole apartment would be the expensivest one. So also you can choose the different prices and by the filter. One thing that I found is that by price you have a couple of IDs where the price is more than 1,000 euro. I think I did some research on the Airbnb, because you can combine the URL and find it. It's kind of like a castles next to the Berlin around the area, so you can rent a big palazzo, let's say on Italian, right? Or the royal house or something like this. And unfortunately, I don't know how to switch to the second tab, because the second tab shows the visualization for the owner who wants to invest some money and show the districts. Yeah, owner. Oh, very nice.
But when you upload it, you can hit a little tick mark.
No, there is no tick mark, unfortunately.
Edit details, you can
Okay,
show tabs.
could be. Yeah, and we also try to. So this is the same data set. There is no changes between them, and we tried to understand. Okay, what kind of things may have owner of the flat, in which district he wants to invest some money to see the growth over the year and to see the ratings. Also, we did this very simple calculation to show how many objects per owner you have inside each district. Yeah, basically, of course, you can just sort it and see in which district you have more competitors, and that means you have to fight against your property to get the new clients for your home. So yeah, again, the main idea of these two dashboards to show the same data set, but from the different angles, from different perspective for different purposes, let's say. I think that's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Igor. Now, we're going to have Sarah up next, but first, please all stay seated. We do want to take a picture from the stage, so if you all stay in your place, and Jordan, our community hero, will take a picture. Where do you...
Get down there?
Okay.
We sit.
Yeah. So all smile.
We want to do a fun one? Arms up? Yeah. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay. Do regular ones, okay. Okay, hands up one more time. Yay! Thank you.
Okay, so
That was awkward.
it was a bit awkward, wasn't it? It was very quiet. I don't know if you all had your hands up, but it must have
Jazz
seemed a
hands.
bit funny. So, Sarah, come on up, please. And after they're finished, we'll just give you a last 30 seconds of announcements, and then you're good to go. I think timing-wise, we have time. So, over to you, and here's the mic.
Hi, everyone. So I teamed up with Saga and Abhinash, who I kind of teamed up with thinking would know not much about Tableau, but they seem to be pretty good experts and kind of directed me the whole way through the build. So let me just pull up what we built. So we didn't go down the chart path. We actually looked at some correlation. So here we just looked at the correlation between kind of the value, the check-in, the cleanliness, and the communication ratings. And we looked at it as to whether, like, the superhost, if you're rated as a superhost or not, if that kind of put you in that top corner, which we pretty much proved it did. And we also built it in pages, so you could kind of have a look through. And I'm going to pass over to my team to see if you guys want to add anything more.
Yeah, basically we are trying to show based on the number of bedrooms, maybe we can book one bedroom. So it would be easy to get to know which host is providing more benefits if we can book number of bedrooms based on if it is a single bedroom, 2 bedroom or 3 bedroom. Let's say I'm interested to book in 1 bedroom, then I can go ahead and search for 1 bedroom. So then it would be easy to choose the host where I can go and spend the time for me. So yeah, that's it from my end, sir. Thank you.
And we did notice, like, everyone was rating really high. Like, it seems like everything was in that top corner kind of regardless. So maybe Berlin has really good Airbnbs. That's what we came to.
200,000 high ratings, you know? Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah. Okay.
That's why the plots are all on the website, you know?
Yeah.
Very good.
Thank you.
I thought you said chicken ratings, but you said check-in. Yeah.
Andy.
It's the Kiwi accent, Andy.
Kiwi
It's
accent.
that strange accent of yours.
Yeah.
Well done.
Thank you.
Okay, so that basically concludes the Makeover Monday live session, and I thought we should maybe just mention where people can find us should you want to talk to us. Obviously, there's now a couple of minutes. Andy doesn't want to talk to anyone. He's being grumpy. No. So I will be at the XSL booth pretty much most of the time when I'm not in a session. And if you're interested, while it is full, I think there's some room for walk-ins. I have a talk tomorrow at 1:30 in the Story Points Theatre 2. It's called Football Analytics with Tableau and XSL, and we're going to talk about football. So if you're keen, please join me in that. Andy, where can people find you?
Around.
around.
No
You'll
session.
see him.
I don't have any, I'm not giving any sessions, so
Yeah.
I'll just be finding things around. So feel free to say hello if you walk around.
And hopefully you were able to connect to some new people. I would strongly encourage you to make as many connections as possible. Don't be shy to stare at people's badges. Names can be quite tricky when you meet so many new people, but really use this opportunity and then connect with them online so you can keep the conversation going after the event. So that's it from us. Thank you all for coming. We hope you had fun. And maybe you can even rate our session. I think you might be able to. So yeah, see you around. Thank you.